Okay, we are speaking today with Elke Lehrenkrauss, director of the film Lovemobil. And this is amazing work of art that is dealing with so many topics, including politics and including globalization and human trafficking and so many things in just one thing. The thing is that, well, what I want to ask you is how did you come to this story and what inspired you to make this story and speak to these people and meet these people?
Yes. My hometown is located in the area where most of the Lovemobils in Germany are. So for me, Lovemobils have been present in the landscape since I was a child. But in the past 10, 15, 20 years, the situation has changed a lot. When I was a child, most women working there were Germans, and now almost all women working there or stranded there come from Eastern Europe and Africa. So for me, this picture of a woman from Africa sitting in the dark German forest in a Lovemobil was a very strong image for something that's really a disaster in our society. So the approach I had to this film or to the topic was not through, like, I did not want in the first place make a film about prostitution. It was more making a film about what is going wrong in our society. And so this was to start off the film with. And then I just started with knocking at doors and meeting some of the women, and it was a little weird in the beginning because, you know, for them having a director or a film team knocking at the door was a little strange, but we kind of were there for 3 years. We have been researching for 1 year and then shooting for two more years. We kind of got friends with many of them and talking to many of them. And after half a year, we met Uschi, the main protagonist, and she kind of got us into the scene. So we really got close with many of these women, and so we ended up shooting with 6 protagonists, but in the film we have only 3. But that's due to the construction and dramaturgy.
Yeah, I suppose because in the film we see that most of these ladies and girls, they are hiding what they are doing from their families. Was it hard to get them talk about the whole thing and to get shot on the camera?
Yes, definitely. But it was, most of the time it was very clear from the beginning if a woman we meet, a potential protagonist, wants to be in the film or not. So like the first encounter was already, we already knew she will shoot with us or she will not be in the film. So, but for the protagonists I had, for every woman of them, it was also the reason why they started shooting with us was because they had like this urge to get out of what they're doing. And so they kind of also used the film or the work with us to leave this place. So it was also, the camera was not only documenting something, the camera was also there for them to work together with them and to kind of, for them also a catalyzation of changing their lives, and therefore they were very open to us too.
Yes,
because,
and the wonderful thing was that you are presenting them as persons and human beings at first, and also you're not judging anything in the film. Probably that was it also the intention while you approached them. And
yes, that had 2 reasons. First of all, I wanted to get away from cliches. I mean, when you meet a person, you don't judge her by the work she's doing. You judge her by the personality, and that was the way I wanted to approach them. Like, you know, not as, oh, they are prostitutes, so let's put everything on this, but meet them, you know, on eye level, and also make them part of our team, because they were like the main part of our team that were constructing the story with us, we were always talking with them what we are shooting, what is our intention, why we are doing this, why we are doing this with the camera. And so they kind of also knew why we did things and what for. And on the other hand, it was also something I thought as a director, because when I meet a person in a film, I only can get close to this person when I have something, you know, that is also in my life. For example, falling in love, having to deal with a dear friend, and, you know, something you as a spectator watching the film can relate to too. So they are not these aliens sitting in the bus doing something you don't do as a spectator, but they have like all the problems we have too. So that was also a reason.
Yeah, of course. There is also the thing which was amazing, the customers, the male characters who are entering these buses and trailers. Mm-hmm. Was it hard for them to talk and to get them involved, to shoot with the camera?
Surprisingly, they were the first ones really wanting to be in our film. So we had so many offers from from so-called clients. We couldn't shoot all of them. We really had it's unbelievable. But we had guys calling us up. They got the number from a friend who met us. They wanted to be in the film, but that was not the so that was the least of our problems. We really, not with the two protagonists that are in the film now, but we really got to shoot some also sex scenes, you know, but it didn't fit in the film. It was something else, you know, and so we kind of only focused on this, you know, the situation. Somebody comes in, you know, to know how the process is, but nothing more, because the more the clients or the male figures you put in the film, the more more you start thinking about the guy. Where comes he from? Does he have a family? And I didn't want that. I just wanted everybody to stick with the women, you know, not asking questions like, oh, why is he doing this? I mean, so yeah, but we really didn't have problems finding guys shooting the film with us. So and I think that's the basic problem of
of course,
team, you know.
Yeah, but it's also lets the viewer just imagine who these people are and what's going on in their life. Of course, yeah.
But I must say that the guys that are in the film, most of them are really the nice guys. They were, also guys you really do not want to meet.
Yeah, of course, yeah. There's a lot of violence, I can imagine, and the danger in the whole scene. There are some this situation with the murder of the girl. Is it happening all the time? Was it the only thing while you were shooting the film, the first and only murder during these days?
Unfortunately, this is something that happens almost every year. Like as sad as it sounds, but it's like that. So since we've been shooting 3 years, 2 murders happened too, and we were kind of there when both of them happened. Not like at that moment, of course, but the situation we created in the film was material we were collecting during the 2 murders. But in the film, we make it. We compose it into 1 murder, but it is unfortunately, it's happening all the time. The newspapers are full of, again, somebody would beat up a woman, so she is in hospital, hardly surviving, and murdering. And it's most of the time, it's not, sometimes it's clients, and sometimes it's the pimps in between.
Yeah, of course.
Trying to, yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask, did you do aesthetic interventions inside the trailers a bit because for the camera and did you change the interiors from time to time?
No, the interiors, we did not change the light. That is always a question from cinematographer sides. We almost used like 80%. We used like available light, and the chains, the light chains, they are really there. The only thing that we did sometimes was to raise the level of light by putting some lamp for the camera to catch the signal, because of course at night we were shooting with a C300 from Canon, and she's not so good catching light. So we just would raise the light level sometimes that you can see something, but we would not change the real arrangement of the light and the situation. It's all the way it is. But what we did was to, since I already knew what is going on there after 1 year of research, who is coming, who is there. Of course, when a client comes, he knew before that we are shooting. He knew us before, and I called him up and told him, okay, we are shooting today, could you pass by and do whatever you do? And so they did. And the same situation was with a priest who comes by. I knew him from before. And I asked him if he could please pass by when we are shooting this day. And so he passed by, but what's happening is really something that we did not expect, because he's a crazy guy, and all this is
of course.
We just put the protagonists together too.
Yeah, also this dialogue between Ushi and the priest is very interesting.
But that's them. We only arranged the situation, because we could not sit there 3 years every day and wait for him to pass by. So we had to make arrangements, like every documentary probably does. But what's happening between them is just, their opinion. And I kind of knew that he, of course, does not like Ushi, and I knew that Ushi does not like him. So it was actually a good fit for a film, because you just know something will happen.
And you have a conflict, which is also for the film. Great.
But there are also situations we were just stumbling in. For example, in the situation in the bar where Rita gets like really molested. But actually, in this scenery, it's just like a normal day, and that's the sad thing. But that was very tough for us also during the shooting. But it was something that just happened. We were just there with a camera, and
Yeah, I want to ask you, all the documentary filmmakers usually stay in contact with all these people, and while you make many films, they are always somehow with you, like a burden all the time. Do you know what is going on with Rita and with Milena?
Yes, of course. All of them are out of the business. This is also a reason for me to be able to really travel with this film and show it on festivals. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't have been possible. And so Ushi, she's retired, classically retired, and she's living with her dogs and sold the caravans. And Rita, she went back to Nigeria. And Milena also is out. She lives in the same town as I, and has a boyfriend and a job, and like the so-called normal life. So, and we sometimes meet. We are in good contact. We sometimes meet, and
Yeah, also the friend of Milena in the film, was she at the end helped her get out, or
not? It was not her in the end. She found a different way, but but they are still in contact. Yeah. But in the end, it was not her, actually.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, is there a crime involved? Of course, in prostitution for sure, but somehow it looks like it's kind of legal. completely, because I know there are legislations in Germany which are different, but yeah, I suppose because maybe it is sex trafficking or slavery, kind of slavery, but it's not the case.
Legal. It's legal. It is, you know, prostitution in Germany is legal. Of course, sex trafficking and human trafficking, it's not legal, but how to prove, you know, how to prove. And what is also legal is, what is not illegal is pimp, I don't know, like
being a pimp,
being a pimp, that's illegal. But nobody in the sense is a pimp there, because they are only they have a bus rental. You understand? So that is a legal business, and prostitution is legal. So the two things together are legal too. And yeah, that's
yeah, it's yeah, really edgy and yeah.
Absolutely. But by law, it's everything legal.
Yeah. Really strange. What is happening with the film now during these days? I know that it's traveling across the festivals and it's showing everywhere. Is there a possibility for really cinema distribution? Because I know that in Germany it is planned or it started.
Yeah, we started 1 week in March, 1 week before the Corona lockdown. So we had 1 week of really good, very good cinema week. The cinemas were full. It was incredible. I never thought that people would run into the cinema and watch my documentary, but they did. And then Corona came and the lockdown, and now they reopened, and they still running in the cinemas. And but you know, with all the you can only fit 25 people into one cinema, so it's running, but only with 25 people per view, and yeah, that's a little sad. But it's still running on festival in Germany. It got like some really good awards, and yeah, like the main like the German Documentary Film Award, which is like very,
of course, yeah,
good. And so yeah, it's still traveling on festivals, but sadly the cinema thing is a little low at the moment. But
yeah, we hope it will change. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will see if these things work at the end, because we are used to totally other ways of showing and presenting films. So
yes. But still, you know, the cinema is a great place for showing documentaries, especially documentaries, because when you as a director are there with a film, for me, this film also got a kind of a dynamic, because I really learned from my audience too, what they think about everything. You know, we have long discussions. So I think cinema as a place is a great thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and it's really pity that here at the festival, for example, we don't have questions from the audience. Yeah, it's like impossible, and that would be really wonderful to hear what they are thinking about the whole thing. Yeah,
but I hope I answered some of the questions already.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you very much, and I hope to meet you soon sometimes, and please come to Belgrade. And just at the end, to ask you one more thing is, are you planning a new project, new film? Are you working on something?
Oh yes, I'm just finishing another film about like a young feminine activist. I don't know if you remember Femin, this movement, the topless movement. And I've been shooting with her for 8 years now, since the beginning. And now I'm finishing this film after 8 years of drawing like this. This girl who was 17 when she started, and now became a very young mother, and it's about the development of a young person who wanted to change the world. And then I'm planning on 2 other films. They are in financiation, and one is in Cuba, and the other one is about it's something between Congo in Africa and Germany, but it's still in the development process. but there's a lot coming.
Yeah, of course. I hope we will present them at BelDocs, and there everything will be,
Great.
I hope, fine, and we will finally meet. Thank you very much, Elke, and stay safe and enjoy life.
And thanks for this interview, and have a great, great festival.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.